All right, let's get started with today. We have a very interesting OFCRA PvP scenario for us to view. It is going to be a World War I themed operation. Point zones are mainly, points are going to be mainly from 3 neutral zones for either side to capture. And beyond that, there's some bonus objectives, quote unquote, but we're probably not going to, they're not worth any points. So we've got a fortress, we've got an Eastern Dinant and a Western Dinant. With the, let's see, I'm blanking on what they were called back in the day. I know World War II powers, but, what was it? God damn it. This is gonna kill me. Hold on. It was the Allies and Central Powers. That's it. All right. I had to Google that to get get that one through because I couldn't remember. I didn't want to say Allies and Axis, and like, no, that's World War II there. So I'm gonna set up a prediction here for you guys. If you want to follow along, you can through the mission command. And otherwise, looks like the God damn it. The Central Powers are spawning over here, and the Allies are spawning basically across these 3 areas. To tab out and have a look at everything here for our specific point groups here. Let's have a look. All right, so at the 60-minute mark, whoever has control of the fortress is going to gain 2 points, and then the eastern and western areas here, these are worth 2 points apiece. So basically, whoever controls the fortress is going to have the early lead here, and then the only thing their opponent can do, whoever doesn't capture that, can then tie the game by holding those 2 areas. So a lot of emphasis is put on this fortress right here. Otherwise, looking at the map, I don't see any obvious trenches made right now. So, hold on. I'm going to adjust my audio a little slightly. There we go. But from there, a little more adjustment. It's just going to be a matter of the French here from the Allies defending that area. And then we've got, I think, German Central Powers trying to take that. So we'll see how things go. We got 2 collapsed bridges on the northern side there, so the only way across is going to be through these 2 bridges. But if the Central Powers take those 2 positions, then it's pretty much GG. But again, this is cash in at the 60-minute mark, worth 4 points. This is cash in at the 75-minute mark, worth 2 points. And this is cashed in at the end of the game. That is also worth 2 points. So all the offensive group, the Central Powers, aka OFCRA, have to do here is take these 2 positions, and they're pretty much guaranteed a victory, and then they can just do some crazy charging at the end across the river. I'm going to be honest, I don't see how it can't be balanced pretty easily, because both sides would just have a bolt-action rifle, some sort of machine gun, maybe some static machine guns to add as well for, Maxins or whatnot, maybe some light vehicles, maybe some, like, air power, but I think this is just going to be infantry on infantry. The way I'm seeing spawns over here, probably only transport trucks. Like, this is probably going to be a group on foot. That's going to be multiple kilometers. Going to have to cross to assault this area, and then these guys have the vehicles, but they're going to have to drive them off-road. I have heard, though, that there are going to be some pretty interesting trench fortifications, and I think we're seeing some of that here on the map, but we're not going to know until we actually, push in and see things go. Yeah, righto, Dragon. I am going to be doing a lot of streaming today. We've got this, and then we have Pog, and then after Pog, I plan on streaming a massive amount of mission dev, and if I still have space on my computer after that, we'll get into Darktide, but I want to get a lot done today, because, I've had a lot to do this week. I've had a lot of fun this week with Bloodwind, doing stuff for ourselves as well. I got funny stories to tell as well, and, it's been a while. It's been weeks since I've streamed mission dev, so, I want to get back into it, even though I know that, I said earlier, the reason I'd been doing it a lot is because we had some metagaming issues, and there wasn't anything that I could stream that wouldn't give things away, but I'm going to completely redo the Infection Zone campaign's framework based off of what I learned in that first op and the feedback I got. And I have a really, really cool system to do it, which is going to be similar to the Undead Assault 2 stuff. So we'll just have to see how, you know, things go with that. Yeah, so the, me streaming the framework, I'm not going to stream where I put everything, and even if I do, there's a way I can scramble all of the loot, so I don't even know while I'm placing it where things are. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to, similar to how I did on Dead Assault 2, all of the loot in the boxes is going to be put in an organized way. So, like, for every 50 sources of food and 50 sources of water, I'll have, you know, 5 things of ammo for gun X, 5 things of ammo for gun Z, 20 things of ammo for the starting gun. But I can literally just scramble all the boxes together and then just assign them to random buildings. And then we won't know what's what. There's just a lot of things I have to do in that mission. And then, you know, next Wednesday, unless Mac Marine wants to run another Pacific mission because he's super busy with his, you know, real life right now. Unless he needs that, then we'll start it next week. But he has priority if he has the time to do it. So we'll see how things go. I'm doing okay, Tech. I'm inside with American AC, and I'm enjoying myself. Have to water my garden, keep it maintained, though. Keeping an eye out for a stupid gopher. And then I occasionally take pictures of the real Sergeant Fluffers and, you know, feed them. Will I give you radios for IFC? I'm debating doing... There's a lot I have to do, like, on the players to give them specific rules and whatnot, but I am going to probably give the individual infantry, like, RF radios so they can speak on one channel with their local teams, but then the team lead is still going to have a 152 to communicate with me, because you can also dual channel that. But again, there's a lot of changes I want to make, and I'm very thankful to all my players for helping me test that. We still had a bit of fun with it, but there's some massive changes I need to make that stuff work. But I want this to be like, you know, my next really cool campaign, similar to Congo. So I have to, you know, make these changes. It's just the difference between getting Congo right on the first try and this was, you know, we had Stillwater. So I could base a lot of my stuff off of how Stillwater was done, and then still spin it to myself, whereas this is... I mean, you don't see any other Arma devs making infection-free zone in Arma 3. At least that I could find, you know. Well, we'll see how things go. You got your AC off right now. $40 electric bill is nice. Fair. I hope you're not burning to death, though, Tech Priest. Hope you're doing okay. But yeah, there's just a lot of changes. And we'll see how things go. Field support for life. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know if we're having an op this weekend, though, because I think there's a poll. I'm going to be honest, though. I don't... How would I word this? I didn't expect there to be an op this weekend because we completed the contract last weekend, and usually that means we have a bye week. But given the choice of having one this weekend, I prefer to have one this weekend because next weekend I'm probably not going to be around because of, you know, IRL obligations. Roger says, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. We're just spitballing as the round begins. It's going to be Allies versus Central Powers. Allies defending 3 zones. Central Powers assaulting. First objective is the Fortress. That's cashed out at the 60-minute mark, worth 4 points. And then the eastern area here is worth 2 points, cashed out 75 minutes. And then the western is cashed out at the end of the game, also worth 2 points. So whoever basically controls the Fortress in the beginning wins after that first hour. You have 3 fans pointed straight at me? Fair. I'm going to be honest, when it gets really hot in the summer, I do have a desk fan down here that I will... Actually, I have it running right now. Because I'm one of those types of people that I'm very, like, hot-blooded. I'm very warm all the time, so it's very easy for me to overheat in the summer. But in the winter, it feels amazing. Plus, it allows me to do stupid shit. Like, I once shoveled a 2-lane driveway in nothing but pink underwear and a green robe. I can't remember. No, I was wearing socks and shoes too. But yeah, no, I did that because it was oddly warm, but it was still snowing, and there was like half a foot of snow outside. And I'm just like, yeah, why not? I've done crazier shit. I don't know where my pair of pink underwear went. I need to find that. But yeah, we'll do story time tonight during mission dev. I don't mind. It's been a while since we've done story time. I have a bunch of news stories anyway.
Oh.
All right, that's the sound of everyone transferring over. I want to take a look at something real quick before I look, just to see if I need to mute TFAR or not, because TFAR had an update. I think it got reverted, though, where now we can essentially mute other people in Spectator. And I'm not sure if that got added. It might have been reverted because of some other issues with the mod. But that is coming. We used to have it in a plugin. But then the plugin broke because we had to update TFAR, and I kind of lost contact with Ilbanek because I became super busy. It looks like it's not, unless it's a client side. Hearing from Zeus Camera, hearing from Splendid. No auto move in Spectator. That's kind of nice, actually. Yeah, I mean, we can resort to that for now, but... Yeah, all right, we'll just tab out and mute when we hear people. Because, again, the default thing is we hear people when they die, and it's kind of funny. But usually it's filled with cuss words and other funny things, so I try to avoid that where possible. But we'll go ahead and have a listen. So it looks like some of the central powers here. We've got bolt-action rifles everywhere, some handguns in the form of... Wait, that's a revolver. Yeah, some revolvers. And then they have a medical vehicle here. I don't think everyone can fit in there, so a lot of them are going to be on foot, but we have these classic Bismarck-pointed helmets for these guys. So that is one platoon. The other two platoons are over here. Gonna put my light on so I can help illuminate everything. We have multiple boats. We have a field gun. We've got a spotter pair of binos there. 2 field guns, actually, with 2 spotter pairs. That's nice. I'm not sure how useful the boats are going to be because, again, the majority of the points are worth on these 2 zones, so they don't really have to worry about crossing the river. But I've got bolt actions and handguns for everybody else here. No, we got some Maxins that they're going to tow around. Not tow around, carry around. That is quite nice. And that's all I'm seeing. We also see some telescopic ladders ready to deploy, which is quite fine. Going ahead and looking over at Blue 4. Oh, that is a fortress. Yeah, someone built this from scratch. Nice. We're looking over at Blue 4 for our French forces. We have their bolt-action rifle. I don't see... I saw some revolvers as well. I don't see any Maxin guns, though. So they're either already deployed on the field, or that's just what they have. And then the 3rd platoon here, we've got some transports over here. We have their field guns as well, an ammo vehicle. Interesting.
No, it's the Spanish flu. Oh, the Spanish flu. Kill. Oh, sorry, the Spanish flu doesn't exist until 1918. Kill this motherfucker. Yeah, drop him in the river.
And this is why listening to your players is something very interesting. I'm looking for more Maxin guns. I don't see any of those, so I'm assuming that is going to be an offensive-only weapon. Let's go ahead and look at our AOs here. So this is the Western Dynats. Diane, that's it. Basically just, you know, part of the town. We have these 2 lawn bridges here, but, you know, OFCRA also have some boats to cross if they want to. The other eastern area here, I mean, we see all that. We see, you know, a nice little buildup of buildings and then some market space and everything. And then we have the fortress. The fortress capture area is this internal area right here, but we do have some broken walls and defensive lines. I'm going to look over in a second to see if there's any trenches, but, I mean, this is a really cool position to fight. So we've got a 2-layered wall. We've got the French flag. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's French, but... we've got all of that set up. We got some rocks situated around as well. And then we see some little bits of rock cover over here for the assaulting groups, but I actually don't see any trenches. All right. We do have a random little tower over here, though, but this is literally just going to be a ridge side assault. Ridge side assaults usually favor the defender, but I love how when we look away, we see part of the map behind the camera actually unrendering. But... all right, so we've got some ammo dumps back here. Looking in the castle, it's pretty open in the middle. You've got this area over here. We got some additional areas underneath, but within the capture zone over here, these are some of the bunkers. And it's all tied to the walls. Wow. All the way in there, but that serves as a secondary area to do some capture zone stuff. And that's all tied to that area specifically. So you can go in on 2 entry points. And then it also I think it led to the building itself. Because we also have this and then some ladder. Yeah, so the stairwells lead up to that. And then this actually goes in a back way to the building. And then there's a ladder right there that you can then get up on to take the rear area. We got some cannons, but they look a little archaic, so probably not going to see those in play. And then we just have a lot of fortifications around the wall breach there. I'm assuming the ladders are going to be useful for actually like climbing up and getting on the walls right here, but that's going to be just a massive kill zone. I'm genuine when I say this. I actually don't really see how the central powers are going to be able to assault this, but we do have some internal things over here for them to potentially, you know, cross in and get on that area, but damn. And then we got another area over here that they can go under. But yeah, no, the ladders are going to be used to basically breach these areas, but it's going to be a bloodbath, but Blue 4 need a massive amount of manpower to hold this area. This is going to be cool AO, though, not going to lie. This is a very nice fort. And then we got an entry point right here as well, like the actual fortress position there. A lot of tall bunkers. I mean, I'm actually kind of excited to see how this one's going to play. Whoever made this, expert work. I love it. Oh, they even have a chapel over here. That's a nice touch. But yeah, forts would normally have something like that, and you got barracks, and
sorry, I need that.
Some of these aren't enterable, some of them are. Fair. And it's the one that's actually furnished with some beds and a stove in there, too. Very nice. Still technically at work, but we're good. I'm sure no one will notice. Righto, Roger. As long as everything's good with you, broski, I'd hate to get you in trouble, but I hope everything at your line of work is A-okay. From what I saw, both sides have pretty much infantry. OFCRA have some vehicles to work with. Both sides do have 2 field guns with some spotter statics to work with. OFCRA do have some boats they can transport. But the only thing OFCRA has is some Maxim machine guns to set up. And I'm going to be honest, I think they're sit-down Maxims, and if I recall the style of the static properly, you could just set that up somewhere and then really lay down hate. But since this is kind of on a ridge, I think the best place to set up that static would be like over here. And then you can try to pick some people off, but the forest is what's really going to get you. And then I love how you see the rendering of one of the bridges in the background. One is a train that is partially derailed on it to give it some cover. I do like that. And then the other one is just a driving bridge with absolutely no cover on it. So one is usable, and the other one's kind of a death trap. Round has begun with the World War I vehicles. It's going to take a while to get transport here. We have some people that are probably just going to stick on foot. We have another machine gun group over here and some murdered people. That's cute. And now I assume we're just going to have to keep our eyes out to see if anyone gets armored on accident. Looks like only the medical vehicles are going up. They're not even going to bother with the truck transports. Looks like they're now loading up their field guns and whatnot. So a little bit of a misplay by OFCRA not being ready at the start of the operation. And then Blue 4, they're also getting their stuff readied up. And we've got the infantry now coming over the bridge.
Wrong bridge, wrong bridge, wrong bridge, wrong bridge.
And they're being told it's the Ron Bridge. I see. The people up there were being told that that was the Ron Bridge, and now you got these guys running across. So I thought we'd see a bit more of a transport role from these vehicles, but looks like both sides are adamant about just staying on foot. We also see some stick grenades in play here. So both sides having grenadier capability. That's going to favor the defenders more than the attackers. Since the defenders have a lot better areas to throw grenades out of. They can just let their enemy come close and then rain down grenadier weaponry. Because this is a one-life op. We have about 125, 130 people on the server. Number advantage is definitely going to go to the attackers in a scenario like this, but some well-placed grenades will definitely turn the tide on either fight. Hearing someone's voice, so I'm checking for skulls. I just don't see anything, so that might have just been by the group moving around over there. We do have some vehicles going far north. If OFCRA chooses to bypass the fortress, that means they can only win via tie by going to the eastern and western Dynance. So there's emphasis on trying to make OFCRA assault this fort. Maybe by trying to subvert expectations if they go around on the northern side and, you know, take stuff and push in. Maybe that's what they're going for, but I'm gonna be honest. Nope, that is someone else in spectators, so we don't have that feature yet. All right, well, that's fine. I'll just mute myself. But regardless, if they attack from the super low ground, that's just going to give Blue 4 all of these little spots to go on and have really good cover. Maybe it's to bait Blue 4 to then, you know, be in positions where a cannon can snipe them from those two field guns both sides have. But if they're just going to try to bypass the front of the fort, it's a little better to attack it from uphill, because you can kind of see over some of Blue 4's cover. But, oh, look at that. Broski just fell. I guess he got slid off the stairs or something. You got to be careful sprinting upstairs in video games. Sometimes you'll just get thrown off. I just heard a grenade go off. What are y'all doing? Because you're starting to concern me a little bit. Huh. So the plan is to take a team and go all the way around, and I guess hunt for Blue 4's cannons if they're in this zone. And it looks like they're already shooting a few rounds, I guess, to potentially, like, practice their ranging. They just killed the engine of the vehicle. And knocked out 2 of their players here. I'm going to be honest, this was a very interesting strategy. Because if they were able to continue driving, it would mean that they have a lot of time to then run. They don't... How do I word this? They would then be a few minutes away from setting up in a position to actually take out these cannon groups from afar, giving OFCRA a major advantage. But now that they're on foot, I think the quickest way for them to get to those cannons would actually be to swim the about 300 meters across this channel and then run, you know, what is this? About 2 kilometers south. That would take them about 15 minutes, but that's essentially what they need to do in this scenario here. And in those 15 minutes, I mean, OFCRA can definitely hold, and then they can potentially go back and hit those cannons. But that's assuming that the cannons are here. So how much time does OFCRA want to give? Because that's time taken out of assaulting the main fortress. There's probably going to be another, if we had the spawn here and they're halfway there, and it's been, what, 6 minutes? 6.5 minutes? That means it's going to be another 6.5 minutes before these guys hit contact, and then we still have a few guys just kind of running around the back line. So, very interesting strategy by OFCRA, but I think the vehicle's dead, so now they're not going to be able to capitalize on it. Yeah, now it's a swim because it would literally be 1.5 kilometers and then another 1.5 kilometers. So it would be 3 kilometers running or 300 meters swimming. So the swimming's going to be the quicker option. So my question is, if this vehicle follows the same route, I guess it gets too deep here, like the second thing's going to flood the engine, because I thought they were going to literally drive off this. And then you see how this is slanted? I thought they were going to drive up here, but it might have been too deep and it wouldn't have given enough time for the vehicle to go up. So now that vehicle's going to have to do a harsher turn on the left to then try to get by, but we see it now crossing that area here. But I'm curious to see this driving style in action, because they go through that. You see where the 2 walls have already been knocked out. But if this vehicle survives, it means it could drive up, drop off infantry, and then drive back up and pick up those guys too. I also love how some of the rifles are poking out. We see some OFCRA cannons deployed. I'll look at those next. The engine is struggling a little bit. This is a maneuver they practiced, though. Like, they had the map beforehand to test something like this. You know what would be really funny is if they overshoot the jump and then they end up clipping in the other car and killing themselves. Yeah, so that's what the maneuver was supposed to be. Now the question is, what's going to get over here first, the vehicle or these infantry swimming? I'm going to be honest, I couldn't tell you, because it's up there and then the left turn, and it's not barricaded. It's so interesting to see what the player base sometimes choose to do their strategies on. So it looks like one group is still over here and another group has deployed over here. So they're literally just going to be field gun artillery based. They're not even going to do direct lines of sight. Z already has -2 kills, though. Huh. And you got these guys just waiting around. They've got their little spotter piece here. I think they're just going to try to direct fire any enemies that come down the ridge here. You got Blue 4 making a small defensive group on the northern side to watch for any vehicles that might come along the northern flank. Little do they realize the main issue is going to be completely bypassing them. Who are our commanders on tonight? It's Snodjapair? No, that's Alpha. I couldn't tell you. I'm looking for like an Alpha 1-1 group or something. We got 1-5 and 1-6. And then Alpha 2-3. I see Alpha 1-1 clear for Blue 4. So he is Blue 4 command, funny enough. He's got looping as the 2 I see. But I don't see an Op 4 command here. So are Op 4 just raw dogging this without a commander? And we're just seeing a lot of insanity being played on both sides? Huh. Look at how close this is, by the way. These guys still have 1 kilometer to drive. I think they're going to be just ahead of the infantry here, which is fine because they can then go ahead, drop off the infantry, pull back, and then pick up the infantry, which will probably be on the road by then. But as you can see, just how quickly that vehicle is able to clear 3 kilometers there compared to, you know, they're not even across the river yet. But if they were on foot, they'd probably be up to the bridge by now, so it was more effective to swim right here, but they're on the last 50 meters to 100 meters for some of them. Meanwhile, you have OPFOR starting to come on the ridge here, moving in a tight formation. They haven't been spotted yet, though, so this isn't too much of an issue. The OPFOR Central Powers here, they're going to need to have some stamina breaks, though, because if they charge in here with no stamina, they're not going to be able to aim their weapons at all. Blue 4, we see that they've dug some defensive trenches on the south side here to try to give some coverage. And we're hearing some initial artillery bombardments here hitting the fortress, but it is just short of the actual objective. Look at that. Now they're a kilometer away, and they still technically haven't made landfall yet. They're so close, though. But yeah, by the time they start moving maybe 200 meters south, the vehicle can turn around and already be in the process of picking them up. But we'll see if they're even coordinated like that. Bold of you to assume they aim at all. You know, I like to pretend that player bases try to aim. And in the 1 out of 10 well, 1 out of 20 situations, they do. I like to bet off of the 1 out of 20, which is a very shitty win rate of 5%, but you know, I like to try. I like to believe in them a little bit, you know? Are they just going to drive right in? You should never assume that it's clear, especially if it was a spawn point. The wind is going to make it so they didn't hear the dismount. I think they saw the vehicle. Got more artillery landing on the fortress area here. It is starting to land in the perimeter here. No KIA yet, though. And they're kind of looking in that direction going like, huh, who are they? Field gun's firing. These guys are going to hone in on the field gun. I'm not sure they're going to check their right, because they don't see the silhouette of the truck. If they gave it a firmer look, they'd be able to see it. But now Sam and Lolo are under threat. The other gun just fired their way. So now they know there's 2 field guns here. We have another open zone right here, though. So that means the second squad's going to just be walking the entire route. That's going to take them at least 10 minutes to get here. But I think these guys are going to clean up the field guns. Now Lolo's coming over to check things out. Like, what are they doing? Oh, and he sees contact. Sam's not listening. And now the bolt action fighting begins. Lolo scores a kill, but Sam is killed. And Lolo gets killed as well. So we have Lolo and then double L Lolo. So one of these field guns has been taken out. However, looks like 2 of them were killed by the field gun firing down here, so it's now 3v4. And it is a fight for Blue 4's field guns. OPFOR does have another squad about 10 minutes away from the north. But will it be enough? Looks like Blue 4's at least getting pushed away from their field guns, though. And we do potentially have Blue 4 mounting up in a vehicle to come over and try to drive back to reinforce. So 4 guys potentially coming. They might be able to pick up some more. But the main fight is over here. We see some people on OPFOR dead as they are engaging each other. Some flares going in. We do have a flanking group over here that could come in. And artillery is landing. We got a bunch of guys down below as well, staying in the bottom of the base. Meanwhile, back here, the fight for Blue 4's field guns. I mean, this could be a game changer if Blue 4's unable to hit OPFOR groups coming down the ridge. I think Blue 4 are panically trying to fire flares up, maybe to get someone's attention from across the bank. These guys still a kilometer and some change away. But OPFOR have successfully nullified Blue 4's field guns, but will it be enough? We do see a massive Blue 4 flanking force starting to come around on OPFOR's battle line. This could be devastating to OPFOR's offensive capabilities. We see a skeleton crew being set to defend as most of the Blue 4 infantry are holding around the fortress sector itself within the underground tunnels here. So it's just enough to make OPFOR think that the whole force is over here. We did just see one Blue 4 guy get sniped by Hans here. Good kill. But now we've got Blue 4 lining up shots on the rear of OPFOR here. Shots have begun. They took out someone's legs there. One guy gets taken out. Other guy gets taken out by Twig King. And now we're starting to see the westernmost flank of OPFOR collapse. And some of them don't even realize they're being engaged from the rear. We do hear those machine guns firing. That's the Maxim gun. Because they dug it on that trench, and they're just blindly suppressing that position. You got Blue 4 now pushing on where OPFOR's westernmost flank was. And you've got these guys now being engaged from the rear, but they don't realize they're getting shot at. Oh, one just did, and he doesn't realize it quick enough. More already coming into the compound. Meanwhile, looks like Blue 4 took the field gun and drove away in the vehicle. And you got command all the way over here. Looks like they overshot where they were driving to. And they're just going to try to grab that field gun and run with it. We got the other vehicle crew coming down, but again, they're at least 5 minutes away. Now on the flank, we got some Central Power forces charging to the wall, but they are getting shot at immediately by their western flank. Skippoo desperately trying to get up to the wall. Yeah, but he gets headshotted from the side as we have this massive sweeping force here. I'm going to be honest, I think OPFOR's GG'd. Like, I hate to say it, but a big force like this, with OPFOR being this spread out along a ridge, I think these guys alone are going to be able to wipe at least another half of this force, and then they're not going to have the manpower to take the rest of this objective. OPFOR put a lot of their assets in hitting the rear positions, and while that's good, the lack of flank security is what's going to cost the Central Powers here a lot. And you have some really heavy hitters with this group like Twig King, so we're just seeing these red triangles slowly getting taken out. Because they made a platoon battle line, they did everything correct, but they weren't expecting a counterattack. Now you're seeing this force branch off into 2 squads, with one now going a little higher to then do a flanking solution here. And it looks like the group of Central Powers is all the way on this other side, but they're still getting picked off as well. Then I think someone fell out of a tower over here, but my god. Now the Central Power knows they're being flanked from the southwest, but I think it's over. You do have squads hunting other groups here. Ash is running for his life. I'm assuming the other vehicle, I can't tell if it made it across or not. That 4-man team's moving to this bridge now to plug that gap. But again, if Blue 4 can hold the fortress, I mean, it's going to be GG already. Because all that's going to happen is the Central Power is going to lose all the infantry here. Blue 4 is going to take minimal to moderate casualties, but still have more than enough to deal with those 2 squads in the rear. Because all they have to do is take this position, that town down there, and it's over. It'll be 6-2 at most. Sonic is being hunted, little does he realize, and he's taken out. So we have some artillery actually landing close to where some of the allied forces were pushing on the flank here, but it's too little too late. More rounds coming in, handing some really nice placement, but again, Blue 4 is just keeping a lot of their reserves underground at the moment. You got Pi on 2 kills here, being incredibly aggressive. Oddball on 1, Jasper on 5. Angel here trying to return fire, trying to stay hidden. He's on 4 kills, though. So he's dishing a really nice blow out to what was a larger force here, but now they're getting taken out. Angel realizes he's being flanked. He's going to possibly pie it. Gets shot in the head. Good run by Angel. Getting 4 kills in a bolt action fight is really good, but unfortunately we just have some really good heavy hitters here. Twig was taken out early. He was on 3 kills. But, I mean, if this entire squad, even if they get wiped, if they're going, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kills per person, I mean, that's a massive force multiplier. One of them gets taken out. Jasper now trying to hold defensive, but he's in the open, fighting guys in trees. Throws a nice defensive grenade, but it gets caught in the tree. Looks like we are basically seeing some of OPFOR break away because they're trying to push this entry point. But you can see they're immediately getting picked off as soon as they move into that choke point. And we're just seeing more crack shots here as more OPFOR getting knocked out. Blue 4 counterattacking. This main force is pretty much cleaned up. Just look at these kill rates here. And the reason OPFOR don't have the numbers is because 2 of their squads went to the back line. I honestly think only 1 squad needed to go back there and achieve that. The other squad should have come over here and assist. But the way OPFOR spread themselves out, it left them open to a flank attack like that. And now you got more Blue 4 coming around from that split we saw earlier. They're now descending, and the forward group got taken out. And now they're fighting with the remains of the Central Power Central group. Pi runs up, gets a point-blank shot. He's on 4 kills now. More arties coming in to rain down, but I think, honestly, Emil's plan here was pretty good. His 2IC that was in command and control over here got taken out. You see where a lot of Central Power guys got taken out and the Skeleton Crew to hold the line, but all they needed to do was hold so this force could come in and essentially sweep. And at this point, Blue 4 now have at least a 2-to-1 advantage here. So you got the flanking team now picking off some people over here. They've lost one of their machine gun crews. And you just have this team right here just kind of stuck. But OPFOR had at least 30 or 40 people assaulting this position. They're down to at least less than 10. It's really going to be up to individuals now to get kills. To rain chaos in this area here. Did Pi get knocked out? Yes, he did. So you see him trying to line up shots. Misses. Now you got Blue 4 pushing this area out. OPFOR, the Central Power group that is still alive, is now trying to leave the area. They got Techo holding their rear. Now you see some Blue 4 shooting at OPFOR as they're trying to run. One gets knocked out. Techo misses the shot. Now you got a bolt action war here. Some funny little trick shotting here by Demovar, jumping around. And Techo gets taken out from his flank because he gets tunnel vision. Shay on his 2nd kill. Look at that OPFOR. They ran with a group much larger than 3. You got 1 knocked out, 1 dead. And this entire Central Powers assault has been taken out. We just saw the remaining guy in the fortress get taken out. They have been cut down. You've got 1 guy, 2 guys heading up now, and it's GG. OPFOR now have this force. Are they really going to go over the open bridge where there's a 4-man team just waiting to pick them off? This is brutal. Like I said earlier, I think it's an early LGG, and yeah, you're just seeing the cleanup here. You know what'd be funny is if OPFOR stole the other artillery piece and started hammering on this position too. Because they do have access to Sam and Lolo's battery, right? I'm really surprised they didn't take this with them and then potentially use it as a point-blank weapon, because now you got OPFOR pulling away because they thought they could move up this bridge. Credit where credit's due, though. No one on OPFOR got taken out from what I can see. I don't see any bodies. Blue 4 could have waited a little longer to get them closer and then started engaging, but I also get immediately wanting to ward them off. Callie still alive over here. Doesn't realize he's got people literally right below him. Jasper might hear that. No, they're going to hear that, though. Now Jasper knows something's up. Misses the shot point blank on Callie. And gets him with the 2nd after Callie tries to return fire. Jasper on 6 kills. Cuboid looking around. They're just doing volley fire over where Toxic is. God damn. And you know what really fascinates me here? This was won by Blue 4 by sheer tactics. When I was in the 506 and we all had to go through O-Suit, one of the things they taught us was formations of an infantry squad and the strengths and weaknesses of both. When you put an infantry squad in a line, the biggest weakness in that battle line is the flanks, because there's only a handful, like one person on each flank to cover at that point, because you're all focusing on the same objective with clear lines of fire. So if you're assaulted by an enemy squad on the flank, you're going to start getting cut down. Now take that on the platoon level. If you spread out your forces in a nice concave battle line to rain down attacks on a target and you're counterattacked on the flank, you're not going to have enough manpower to stop that counterattack. And then as the rest of the line is engaging, especially in a scenario where you don't have radios, people are going to think all that gunfire is just your guys shooting at the fortress, and then that flanking force is going to sweep, like we just saw. So it's even worse that OPFOR didn't have any radio capabilities for that, and they just got annihilated, because bolt-action gunfire is going to sound similar on either side. And, you know, that's the funny thing. OPFOR didn't even really get to the fortress. Only like 3 or 4 people actually made it in the main entryway, but they were given ladders because the whole idea was for them to basically suppress these positions, make it up to the ladders, climb over, and then pound everything with artillery, and it was working. And you actually have a lot of Blue 4 deaths up here from them just getting picked off, but Blue 4 did the smart thing and took 2 or 3 squads and just flanked. OPFOR spent its extra infantry doing this crazy rear assault, which worked. It nullified Blue 4's artillery, but it weakened the main assault, and that just allowed Blue 4 to sweep them. Yes, yes, there is a small cave passage, which is back here. Or at least, yeah, so there's multiple, like you can climb on this side, you can then get in that entrance. There's another side entry point over there. There's a lot of ways into this base. Ah, here's the cave passage itself. And that's why they're down here holding this spot. But there's a lot of ways into this fort. But Blue 4 knew, instead of just holding all of those fortress positions, just kill them from the outside and you're good. We even see Blue 4 now shooting at their own men over here because they refuse to believe all of OPFOR is dead. So we have one OPFOR survivor, that's Goulet. He came in here with a vehicle. He was with somebody else, though, but he already died. Yeah, beautiful play by Blue 4. They just stood back here, made trenches in case they were assaulted, and once they heard all the gunfire, they just left and killed. They got Lolo and Masano holding the bridge on their own right here. It would be really funny if they had the field gun. Just pull the field gun out, aim it at the bridge, and if you start taking fire, just fire back with a bigger caliber. But it's GG. I hate to say it, but Blue 4 have like a 3 or 4 to 1 advantage right now. I was really hoping to see some cool CQC, but Blue 4 did the smart thing. And I can only imagine the salt on OPFOR's side, but genuinely they got outplayed. Oh. Weiss, is he going to spot Lolo and pick his head up? Here's the gun! OPFOR's just stuck on the other side of the bridge, bro. They killed him! They killed him! Oh! You know, Masano could just, like, wait off to the side, wait for the footsteps, and throw some grenades over, but it looks like he's now shooting some flares in the air. Emil is over here with a handgun. He has an LR, though, so he could call for some backup. But really cool that we've seen multiple players use the flare system to basically warn people that shit's coming their way. Lolo wakes back up. Get on the gun, Lolo! Lolo, get on the gun! Oh, grenade range. Lolo's dead. Yep, Masano got taken out. It would have been absolutely based if Lolo got on the gun and point blanked them on the bridge. God, I'd be hollering. would have been hollering. Double tap on Masano. I don't know if he hit or not, but he did not. That one did, though. Emil's running for it. But, yeah, it's over. You got these guys now randomly volley firing over here to see if they get lucky. Plenty of missed opportunities, but hey, c'est la vie. All right, I'm going to let this play for about another 15 or so minutes. I have to make dinner tonight, so I want to get that ready. We're going to be doing hot dogs tonight. But, I mean, just look at the sheer amount. You got this force now. The flanking force is now coming down to assist. OFCRA are down to an artillery team back here. A bunch of infantry in the fort itself, and then a lot of mobile infantry here. And these are all guys that, you know, some of them are already boasting hefty kill counts. So they have in-server experience on how to handle some of the rifles. Now I'm wondering if these guys are going to come up to try to assault the guys right here to get, you know, another version of the flanking strategy. So they can allow for the other squad to then push in. But that's just going to attract these guys over, so even if they get the kills and get everyone, I mean, this force isn't going to come in. And then you have what I was talking about earlier, if OFCRA tried to circumvent the fort and assist assault from the rear. Now you've got all the people in this area that are just going to come up, get on the wall, and shoot at anything that's deemed OFCRA. What do you guys think of this round? Again, it's rare when we see such a beautiful plan like that get executed. I thought that was pretty amazing. Now they're coming around. Bark got lost, and he's about to pay for it. Still have Gouliat running around over here, and then Pingus also coming in alone. Heard players weren't too happy. Again, there's no reason for that. They simply got outplayed in this one. Like, there's... Like, this is one of those rare times where I can see where people would complain, but people are going to complain over something that's now just a moot point. They simply got flanked. So this is one where, you know, there's no reason for it. Now, had this been one way because Blue 4 basically turtled the fort... There goes Bark. If Blue 4 turtled this fort and OFCRA tried their best to run up, and every time they ran up they got slaughtered, then I would agree. There'd be some valid complaints here. But... only two groups of infantry ran up here. It was a three-man group that ran up to this wall, and they immediately got shot in the back because Blue 4 took positions. And then the other group, actually, of like 4 guys, made it in and got some kills, but they got taken out because Blue 4 had a 2-layer garrison of a skeletal crew on the walls, and then the rest were going in. If OFCRA just charged in with their whole force, they would have easily broken in, but the whole force got fucked by an opponent with better tactics. You know? Not that type of fucked, you chucklehead. Hey, Gato, how you doing? You died? Yeah. A lot of OFCRA died. Now you're seeing on the smaller scale... Wait. What the fuck did I just witness? I see. Blue 4 have the power of ghosts on their side. That's how they were able to handle such a delicate situation. Wait, why are you now crossing the rip? What? Well, you can see they died, so why would they be over there? They'd be... Okay. Blue 4 are getting lost.
A warm welcome, shall we?
I'm assuming Emil is playing admin, and he's messing with OFCRA a little bit. And then these guys, they have the, I think they took the other truck. No, they took a Blue 4 truck, so they're going to potentially drive over and grab them. I don't know. Here's how the rest of this round is going to go. This is going to get captured at the 60-minute mark, which is in 22, 23 minutes. They're going to come down and take this position, and then it's going to be GG. These guys are going to go off and do something crazy, I guess. But Op4 literally have 2 squads and a handful of, like, 1 or 2 man groups here and there. Blue 4 have a massive number advantage. It's just a bolt-action rifle fest. I want to stick around, but, I mean, it's just going to be a delay. I was hoping these guys would then clean up these 2 squads, and it would be, you know, a simple wrap-up. I don't think Op4 can bounce back, simply because we still have a massive garrison right here, and we got a full squad moving over that dwarfs the other 2 squads. Unless they were together, then Op4 would have the number advantage, but all Op4 is going to do at this point is they're going to put a group of infantry here and potentially keep this other group over there, and then these guys are going to overpower one of the groups, and that's going to be it. I do appreciate now they've stolen the other gun, and they're going to potentially try to use it on the bridges, but this group outnumbers this group, what is that, 3-1? That's what, 6 to 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So, yeah, clear 1-2. 1-6 is going to solo the entire castle. I am all for it. Pingus is on a kill. How would he do it? He'd have to come around right here, kill Draper hard, come up here, put a grenade down, and kill the 2 people sitting down with that grenade, maybe get a 3rd kill, and then pick everybody else off. If Pingus actually kills the 6 people out here, I'll give credit to your theory. Okay, 1. But now we need to see him be aggressive, because if he gives time for Blue 4 to actually get up and start moving around. I think he's doing that funny spin thing. He missed. Come on, Pingus. Use alcohol. It slows your weapon, and he's gone. If it makes anyone feel any better, I was genuinely rooting for him. Because we were either about to see the norm, or we... Well, I guess better to get it ranged now, right? Rather than fire it and have it be a massive disappointment later. Why are you... No, 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 no. Please don't pull back and then come around and then use that bridge and get murdered by that 4-man team. Then again, all Blue 4 needs to do is just get over here, kill the group there, and then hold those 2 zones, and then it's going to be 6-2 GG. You know? But if they don't capture this zone and instead bypass it and get blown up by that force, I mean, that's... That would be something, wouldn't it? I have an idea. Let me unmute myself and just...
My jesteśmy na west, my jesteśmy na west.
It's not that bad, actually. All right. I was expecting to hear a lot of salty people in Spectator. Dream, John OFCRA is not real, okay? He can't hurt you. All right, so we have a group of 10, and we have a group of 2, 12, and then we got one guy here, so for 13. So the rest of Op4's numbers were on the back line. That means there were about 25, 30 Op4 troops that weren't committed to the main fight. No wonder Blue 4 bulldozed them. He didn't even have a chance. You just shot him. Oh my god. But yeah, Dream, John OFCRA is not real, okay? There's no Tooth Fairy, there's no Santa Claus, and there is no John OFCRA. He helped you paint his room, he very much is real. Alright, so Blue 4 are either going to do something silly and cross the other bridge, even though they were already across that bridge. That can't be what they're doing. They're instead going to take the purple zone. They're going to find this garrison, clear it out, maybe take moderate casualties, and then maybe OP4 will take it back, but then this massive garrison is just going to come out and kill them. And that'll be it. That will be it. Alright, I'm gonna let this last firefight play out, and then that's really all I can think of. It's gonna be another 4 or 5 minutes for Blue 4 to mosey on over there. We still have these guys just kind of laying it low. They think they're done, but they're not. They need to at least capture that other purple zone to guarantee their victory. But like I called earlier, it's already been GG for a while. You should just pull up Minesweeper and just play it on the stream while we wait. I'll play, what is it, Subway Surfers on the side for y'all. Have we really gotten to be that overstimulated and autistic to pay attention? I feel that. God damn it. Alright. Hold on.
Action of enemy was forbidden. They could be anywhere in the town now. I turn German.
Are you traitor, Mr. Nuba?
No, I'm from Alsace-Lorraine.
Okay, very good. Everybody,
Yeah, on the
be
Yoko
careful,
man now,
the enemy
Monseigneur.
could be anywhere. Oh, it's Mr. Zigby the troll. Search the town! Search the town!
Jesus fucking Christ.
Alexander is funny.
Właśnie nie wiem jeszcze.
They break the vehicle and then get ditched, so OPFOR's now going to separate themselves. That's the true sloppy time. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Bentley! So for the street, so for the street.
On the street? Oh fuck, I'm dead!
Enemy bearing north! They're in the building! They're in the building! I repeat!
Did you hear that? The guy that got dropped over here just went, oh, fuck, I'm dead.
Enemy north in the building! Merde!
Another guy
Oh,
just got
damn.
killed.
Insta-dead.
Yes, World 1 is definitely hard.
Alright, let me mute again. Like I said, the garrison was probably going to get immediately annihilated, but you know, at least there's QRF now coming from the north. Wait, is there an OP4 Sam? Wait, what? What happened to Blue 4 Sam? Did OP4 just respawn a bunch? Yeah, why is Twig King now OP4? What? What? Fucking Rigel just killed 2 people and now is now doing a flanking action. That was actually pretty dope, though. So when OFCRA said he was respawning people, I guess I know why. Sam gets knocked out, but Chimera gets him. Sam almost flies out of a window. But a majority of OPFOR has still been taken out. Oh, yeah, clearly I'm crazy. What's happening is Blue 4 is still killing all the OPFOR players, because it's to be expected at this point. Yeah, so a bunch of dead Blue 4 and OPFOR players, I think, got respawned. Neves just got picked off from by Wombat. And you still have this team over here with no radio contact to realize everyone on the other side of the bridge is getting fucked. So Sam woke up, but it looks like Chimera died. And now we got people like Alexander on 7 kills. Jesus Christ. They are going to hold the bridge till the end of time. But what, with, what, 3? No, 2 people? I thought there were 3 up here. Oh, no, one's all the way... What? Amazing. Sam, I think, just killed Wombat off to the side. Alexander's running up. Mag dumps Sam with his revolver. Up for a few people now leaving the zone. But I'm gonna call it here. If I have a mod in chat, can you pay it off to Blue 4? Because I think Op4, because they got a respawn wave, have kind of called it at that point. Grenade almost kills Twig. Zixme running around. 2 legends right here. Twig knocks Zixme. That is something you do not see every day. Yeah, they already have a death. And some kills. So I think OFCRA did this because otherwise the op would be over and it would be kind of a waste of this AO, so I understand. But yeah, it's a moot point. I'm a poor man. It feels bad to lose. I hate gambling. Yeah, buddy, mood. Ah, 99% of gamblers quit right before they win. Neves just got lightning bolted? Neves is dead. Oh, Neves was secretly a CSAT spy. Oh, God, who would have thought? Damn. It really could just happen to anybody, could it? What is this? What? Quick! Someone grab Neves' Katiba. 6.5. Where'd it go? What is this chucklehead doing? He's just touching it. Majority of Blue 4 took that position back. They have the number advantage in here. It's only Barros, who has died already. trying to line up a shot on Mr. Dave. And gets him. Wait, what? Wait. Bro! Secret tunnel! Through the mountain! Secret tunnel! I didn't even know this was here, bro! Like, this... Also, it's funny, there's a hole over here. So if you don't want to take the secret tunnel, you can just get under the map. There's no way off over here. There was more than a fair amount of ways to get into this compound. Oh my god, Neves! Is Neves gonna do it? Yes! Go through the really fun way! You'll survive the fall! I'm lying to you! Alright, I'm gonna wrap it up here and go make dinner. Blue 4 victory, I'll pay it out in a second. We'll have Pog in 3.5 hours, and I'm sure it'll be a fun time. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good one. Mission Dev after Pog 2.